Hello and welcome to Face to Face on ChannelOne Television. I am Omaru Sandamado. Today we'll be talking a lot of law and also do some politics because, of course, you've heard the issue of nolli prosequi. Do you even know how to pronounce it? I'm sure people are pronouncing it in their own way. That is a big issue that we are looking at. We also look at the prosecutions that are happening. So dropping prosecutions and starting prosecutions. Those are the two things we're looking at from the Office of Special Prosecutor, the Attorney General, the IOCO in this new administration. We'll speak to a lawyer who is also a politician to see how his party, and for that matter, lawyers from his side, intend to deal with these matters. Stay with us. I'll introduce him when we come back. In the year 2016, my guest was elected Member of Parliament for the Kpemka constituency in the Upper East region. He lost that seat, though, in 2020, and he also did not remain in government. He was Deputy Attorney General. He and one other person were deputies to the then Gloria Akufo Attorney General in the first term of the Akufo-Addo administration. After 4 years serving as Deputy Minister of Justice and Deputy Attorney General, he's gone on to set up his own chambers and continue doing his private practice, where he's representing one of the politically exposed persons standing trial, the former NPA boss, Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid. Now, my guest, I'm not sure whether he plans to go back to Parliament or wants to do more politics again, or just wants to do law. Joseph Dindiok Kpemka is my guest. You're welcome to Face to Face.
Thank you, Maru.
How are you?
I'm good, by grace.
How are my people in your constituency doing?
Very well. My uncles.
Yes, you are.
I call them my uncles.
Yes.
And they are doing very well.
Do they do a lot of cattle business like I see down south here?
Definitely. It's one of the mainstay of the people of my area. In fact, as I've indicated time and again, farming and then rearing are the mainstay of the people of my area. Cattle rearing, sheep, goats, etc. And then you have the cash crop onion, which is one of the major crops that we actually cultivate in the area.
But you have water? You have water? A lot of water for onions?
We have a few dams.
Okay.
Then the addition that was made, the one village, one dam, we had a number of the smaller dams that were dug during that era have actually helped a lot of farmers in cultivating onion during the dry season particularly.
I see.
So I will say by and large that yes, the mainstay of the people of the area is agric.
I've never been to Kpemka before. I've been to Garu though. I look forward to going to
It's
Kpemka.
a very interesting one. There's no way you be to Garu without knowing Kpemka.
Well,
because the geography is interesting.
So I came from Nakpanduri. Is it possible that I could enter Garu without going through?
All right. So if you came from Nakpanduri, it means that you actually
entered from the mountain.
You entered Garu without entering Timpani. But if you came through Boku, one of the parts you will get into Timpani, and then you enter into Garu. So it's very interesting. So you are they are like twin towns, actually. Are you?
So you are to the right. Are you? Do you border Sankansi in Togo?
Yes, please. We share boundary with Togo. And we share boundary with Pusiga. And then we share boundary with Garu. And we share boundary also with Nakpanduri area.
So northeast.
Yes.
So you are in the middle there.
Yeah, we're in the middle.
Hope we are seeing development, progress. Things are going well. Because you lost the seat, so I'm not sure.
I lost the seat, and I indicated to you once upon a time that for me, I believe in you going to the place to actually see for yourself whatever is on the ground, rather than trumpeting and blowing my own trumpet and etc. Because the infrastructure that I engage in, be it education, health, road infrastructure, electrification, etc., they've been unmatched. There's no dispute about it. And you can go to the area now and ask anybody. It will be confirmed to you without hesitation at all.
So you left in 2020. But in 2020, your side, MPP, moved from 169 seats to 137. It was seen as a big blow. But what happened in 2024, I'm not sure what kind of blow that is. When you saw election results coming through 2024 and seeing that you have lost the whole Upper East, lost the whole Upper West, and then you split the Northeast into two, you split the northern region. Actually, you didn't even split the northern region. I think NDC did way better in northern region. Savannah, you split it. And then western, north, all these places, it was just green. Everywhere was becoming green. What was going through your mind when you watched the election results?
Well, first of all, I knew by 10 p.m. that we had lost the election. Because if you look at...
On December 7th?
Yes, on December 7th. Because if you look at 2016, by 7 p.m., the report were at 8 p.m., 9, the report we're getting from IT wizard, Anoche, was very clear that we're leading. In the same way, 2020, by 8, 9 p.m., the report we're getting online from his office indicated that we're leading. But this time around, it was very silent and sad. So we knew by 11, 12 that things were not going well for us at all. It was a tsunami, and it was a national one that hit us hard. And the circumstances that led to that are very clear and obvious, local and international. A lot of factors played a role in it. And as I've repeatedly said, if elections were to be conducted today again, I am very convinced that the performance that we recorded will improve upon it tremendously.
Really? Are you sure?
I'm very convinced.
Because of what? Because people have seen what?
You see, I want to state that at a point in time, people thought that when a change of government comes and MPP is out of office, probably their taps were going to flow with milk and honey. But that hasn't happened. And let me indicate this to you. We're just 7 months into the government of Mahama. Of course, he has recorded a number of positives and etc. But I can tell you that the fundamental thing that took us out, which is bread and butter, the rural area and the urban centers and etc., very little changes have actually happened. You may have indicators that have been positive, agreed. You may have indicators that have actually risen, agreed. But the fundamental thing about the cost of food, if under MPP we bought Kpemka at a certain price, the question today is it better? Are we buying it at a cheaper cost? Or we are maintaining it, or is going higher and etc.? And the basic and fundamental needs of the people are the things that they use to judge you. You can go and talk about any economic indicators, macro and microeconomic indicators. That one will not affect directly the poor person or the ordinary person on the streets. What they want is when they get up daily, they are able to get their daily bread without so much hassle. And that's what actually measures the performance of each party. And let me tell you, if you look at fertilizer, the rural area, from where I come and all that, is one of the very fundamental things that the people need to help themselves in agri. Go and find out how much is the price of fertilizer at the rural periphery now, whether they can afford it. There's no subsidy, as far as I know, as it used to happen under the previous government, particularly the first 4 years, where fertilizer was subsidized and became the topic of smuggling across the borders and etc. When the people are able to get that and they do well in agri, then it translates into the mainstay economy. But I think that that aspect of it is missing for now and is going to play a leading role in the rural periphery as to how they perceive government and government's policies.
But is it not too early? Things are reducing, the cost of prices are reducing, some are remaining where they are. There's lots of goodwill. Are you really sure about this, your position that you may win?
I said it, and I'm not hesitating at all, that if elections were conducted today, MPP will do better than we did in 2024.
Despite all the positives you are seeing?
You see, as I've indicated, the positives...
But there hasn't been any major scandal yet.
I've indicated that it will be hypocritical for me to sit here and say there are no positives recorded by this government. I don't belong to that class of politicians. But I'm saying that how that translates into affecting the daily lives of the people, as far as bread and butter are concerned, is the fundamental thing that will measure your success if an election is conducted. But as for the indicators, they can always be as good as anything. You can talk about inflation, for example, coming to 13% from a previous 23%, and all that. You can talk about other indicators and etc. that are positive. But I'm saying that the fundamental thing is how those ones will translate into affecting the daily lives of the people as far as bread and butter are concerned. That's how it is measured out there. If you look at the new Patriotic Party, we lost because at that time, clearly we had issues. And you know that a lot of things happened, decisions were taken by government at the time that should not have been taken. That made government unpopular, and quite a number of supporters of our party did not come out to cast their votes. So yes, you know from '92 that incumbent governments in their second term have never had the number of votes they got in the first term. No incumbent government has ever gotten that. And I don't think that any government is about to change that at all, because you are going to step on a lot of toes when you take decisions. And apart from those ones, you are going to, affect the lives of certain people with your decisions for the worse. So all those things will culminate in a number of issues that will rise up against you.
I ask this question a lot to people from your party. So it means you were in a Titanic, you were headed for the iceberg. Did you not advise the captain to stay away, stay clear of the iceberg?
Well,
or the captain was not listening?
Well, I do not want to say the captain was not listening, but it was a conspiracy of a lot of factors that worked against the party and government. When I talk about conspiracy of a lot of factors, I indicated at the beginning that there were circumstances where factors beyond the control of government, influenced and actuated by international influence, played a lead role. And that's why it has become, sometimes people mention it for purposes of fun, that everything that we said, we talked about Russia, Ukraine. We also spoke about the effect of COVID. But I keep on also reminding and repeating to people that if you take out these events and when they occurred and struck our economy and then review it on the basis of what happened prior to their occurrence, then you come to the conclusion that the argument we have made all along was valid. Because we are not living in an island of our own, in a society of a utopian nature that we've created in our minds that we live and worship. But we are living in a real life situation, and economic indicators and all that, wealth, economic factors, internal factors, all play a role. You know, I have heard His Excellency the President, current, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, state a number of times that COVID in fact affected our economy. He stated also the Russia-Ukraine situation. So there are admissions. I have known that there are even admissions by a number of government officials that indeed these events affected us. But at the time when we were espousing this, said that it could not be true, and that our own comments in the past indicated that that could not be true and all that. But the reality is that it did affect the economy, and when those factors strike you and you don't take care, there will be like a tsunami that will sweep you away. And I just want to let the current government know that whatever positives they are chalking now, go back and look at the new Patriotic Party, the first year, the first 6 months, and the performance of the CD and the other economic indicators. When there is a change of government, that goodwill on the part of local international community is heightened, and it translates into affecting the economic indicators. And that's what we are seeing. But when government begins to roll out major policies and begin to make payments of monies that are of significant in nature, you are going to come to a conclusion without hesitation that certain indications will get distorted. There's no doubt about it. Because now we are not paying contractors.
Are you predicting doom, or you are praying for doom?
I don't pray for it at all. Because if it does strike, I'll be part of it. I don't pray for it. For me, my prayer is that every government that comes to power should succeed and we build a better nation. I don't pray for any government to fail. Okay. But inevitably, you would have those problems, and failure will occur because of reality that you face, that you will not be able to address.
We have seen parties lose elections and come back, but the magnitude by which you lost is making people say you're going to stay in opposition for 40 years and so on. Are you sure you can come back strong? Because you have been diminished in parliament, and at the presidential level is nothing to write home about.
Agreed. But let me talk to you about this. In 2016, the level of victory that was chalked by the new Patriotic Party had not been heard of in the history of Ghana.
It was unprecedented.
Absolutely.
1 million votes.
Over 1 million votes difference.
169.
So even if you watch the narrative on the part of members of the new Patriotic Party, it was unanimous that NDC was going to be in opposition for a very long time. That was the chorus. And then we came to 2024, and we diminished from 167 to 137.
2020.
And then, 2020 rather. And then in 2024, we came from 137 to 88. What does that tell you?
87.
That anything is possible. Initially 88 and later 87. Anything is possible, in politics. And the NDC and their declarations they are making, for me, is just a matter of tickling yourself and laughing, because events will show whether you'll be able to live in there for 40 years and whether any Ghanaian would like to give the thumb to you to live there for 40 years. Remember that without mentioning names, people have begun making certain basic mistakes and commentary. And sometimes people get angry over even attitudes of government appointees, being snobbish, being arrogant, being pompous, being boastful, and all that. And sometimes even just the mere presence of a motorcade will annoy somebody. And they are lording it over us and all that. So when you are in government, the negatives are actually weighing so much against you. So when you are in opposition, all that you do is to criticize. And that is why there were so many voices who are now in government who have gone into quintessential silence as a result of the fact that it is not good manners to speak when you are eating. I mean, so some of the people, really, when issues come up and you play back the tapes of those people, you just ask yourself whether they intended the good of Ghana or it was just for the purposes of looking for power. I'll give you an example. Do you remember the LGBTQ? The advocates.
LGBTQ.
Yes. Do you remember those who were the strong advocates? In fact, they spoke as if the world was coming to an end the following day. Today, we don't hear them again.
Your problem as a party is not really, the biggest problem is not winning elections. The biggest problem is uniting so that you don't implode. There is a view that you are on the verge of implosion and that your flag bearership contest and all the other contests that will come up is going to further deepen and destroy your party. Have you got a candidate? Do you think that you can come out successfully?
Well, I will say without hesitation that we've been in situations like this before and we've been able to come out successfully. And we are in that situation again, we shall come out successfully. I refer you to 1997 in Legon. It was not easy. The pressure, the tension was at its peak. The way situations were handled were almost at a near implosion of the party, but we came out of Legon very strong. And we moved from there, and eventually we won in 2016. So I think that when there's a contest of ideas, I mean, you hear all sorts of things, but after the election, steps will be taken. And remember, there's one thing I want to commend the wisdom of my party for going for early primaries.
Or you agree with early primaries?
Yes, the reason is that, you see, if there is anything that affected us, apart from the other indicators I spoke about, it was our late presidential primary. Because after the presidential primary, there was no time to go around and do reconciliation. And you know that there are people who naturally are temperamental, they are quick-tempered, they are easy to go angry, and etc., and they are very difficult to control. But if you do presidential primaries 3 clear years to elections, you have the opportunity to mend the walls, talk to one another, speak to each other, and appeal to the conscience of one another. And no matter how your temperature is boiling, I believe 3 years is enough time for it to cool and calm, for you to compose yourself and join the chorus for us to win. So those who have advocated that we have early primaries, I believe that it was as a result of their thought of the laborious process we go through to reconcile factions and parties prior to elections. And I think that 3 years is such a long time that we can heal wounds to be able to fight the battle. So I support it, and I support it because it is in the interest of the party. As you've rightly pointed out, I mean, there are boiling points here and there, individual interests here and there. People are making utterances, and that is why I always say that we should be extremely careful with the utterances we make, because those tapes will be played by NDC.
Against
when we elect one person eventually. The tapes will be played by NDC, and NDC will use those tapes particularly against us eventually. So we have to be careful, all the presidential candidates. And I appeal to them. I appeal to His Excellency, the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I'm appealing to my elder brother, senior in Parliament, the Honorable Kennedy Akumprekwa Jepong. I'm appealing to Brian Achampong, my very good friend. I'm appealing to Patrick Buama. I'm appealing to my friend Kwabne Jepong. All of them fine gentlemen. But in the end, they should remember that one person will be elected. And when that one person is elected, he will need everybody on board to prosecute a robust campaign that can actually turn the tides and give us victory in 2028. Otherwise, we are not looking for just a presidential candidate. We must look for victory. And I think that the clamor for victory should be the clarion call of all so that we put our wheels, our shoulders to the wheel and ensure that we drive the car successfully to the destination. I am convinced that 2028 will not be an election that the NDC will find it easy. I am very much convinced.
Who is your money on? Who are you supporting?
Well, I want to state to you without equivocation that you've taken me by surprise by throwing me this question.
And I'm happy. So
but I would like you to confer with me after this. Then I'll let you know.
But let me know. I mean, people are declaring.
I have indicated.
Former ministers are declaring. MPs are declaring.
Don't you worry at all.
Commoners are declaring.
For good reasons.
We are waiting for
good reasons. Don't worry at all.
Don't
worry. I don't worry. Don't you worry at all. For good reasons.
So you won't tell me now.
I won't tell you. But I'll tell you subsequently. So
tell me this one though. There is a view about our democracy and the stage we have got into, where in 2016, the Ghanaian citizenry thought that the NDC was a bad party. They were uprooted and you were brought in. And then 8 years on, you have also been uprooted with a bulldozer. Now we have Mahama back. Where is our democracy headed? What do you think is the trust, the public trust and the citizens' trust in our governance system moving forward?
Well, I am one person who is of the belief that to build our nation, we need to have, from time to time, changes in governance to ensure that nobody holds the country as his personal property. That is very important and fundamental for us to compare notes and see which government has made progress and which one has retrogressed. Remember that if you look at the immediate past government, if you look at the progress of work only for Agenda 111. If the government had completed all these projects, I think that it would have been the single most important health intervention in the history of Ghana. No dispute about it. I don't think any government has embarked into any such ambitious project since Nkrumah, or even in Nkrumah's time, we never had or witnessed any such ambitious project in the health sector. Look also closely at the free senior high, its implementation and the massive infrastructure that was launched by the Get Fund Administrator and His Excellency the President, the tracking of the massive infrastructure and investment in education. Look closely at it. Look closely at the road construction sector, the investment that was made in 8 years by the new Patriotic Party. And look closely also at extension of rural electrification and provision of water.
What's your point?
You will come to the conclusion that it was massive. But why did we lose? Is it just only this 8-year cycle, or the mind by Ghanaians that if we allow one government to be there for a longer period, it is likely to create certain things to us that we are not going to be happy in the long term, so 8 years, let them go. And look at it carefully. From Rawlings, with his percentages up in the skies, His Excellency, former President Kufuor, managed to overturn that. And what happened? He won the elections in 2000, formed government, improved upon it in 2008, and then in 2004 rather. And then in 2008, we lost narrowly. You know, it means that the 8-year cycle is something that is really imbibed by Ghanaians, and it has become like a convention. So,
which means that you have to wait for 2032 as a party.
That I don't agree.
But
drawn up the convention. I'm talking about the history.
Yes, which we are relying on to forecast the future.
But let me tell you something. If you look at happenings in 2020, you realize that may not entirely be the case. Because if you look at 2020, the NDC's leap almost took us by surprise. And I've envisaged that can happen in 2028.
Okay. This is Face to Face on ChannelOne Television. I'm Omar Sandamado. My guest is the Honorable Joseph Kpemka. He's former Deputy Attorney General, which means he's a lawyer. When we come back, we'll now talk about some legal matters. The Attorney General has filed nolli prosequa in the case against Dr. Kwabena Duffuor. The MPP is not happy. They said he should come and explain why he did what he did, even though he's not really obligated to explain under the Constitution. And then Joseph Kpemka himself is also representing Mustafa Hamid. We'll talk about how that case is moving in court and other matters. Please stay with us.